Ya empezar. And we are back. Another episode. Shade of Brown. Episode 105.
Wow,
105, Frisco.
that's big.
105. We've been doing this. We haven't stopped.
That 100 is a milestone right there.
Bro, 50 is a milestone.
Oh,
Imagine
wow.
100.
Double milestone.
Double. Yeah, dude. All right. If you're joining us on the beautiful world of YouTube, you can see we have another guest. We've actually had Francisco in the podcast when we barely started. Really, you were like first 5 episodes, somewhere around there, 7-ish in that area.
Yeah, we're in a little garage. It was hard to breathe in there.
I was in a garage?
Nah, it was like a room. It was like a
Your brother's room.
gaming room. Where you would play games.
It was
and stuff.
stuffy though.
It was stuffy in there.
Because they didn't open the window?
It was like middle summer when we did it. Yeah.
No AC?
I don't know.
Was it? I don't remember. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got Francisco in the house. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming, Francisco. What do you think? Any upgrades? You see any upgrades?
Oh yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, we
Yeah?
got AC in here.
This is awesome.
Got
We
a
got
fan and everything.
AC fan. We got a few vents. over
It's not
here.
stuffy anymore.
It's not stuffy. No,
No?
it feels great. I like the setup.
Yeah. Maybe a new face, a part of the podcast too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because the last time when you were in the episode, it was my brother and Anthony.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got rid of them.
That's like a joke about the podcast now, huh?
Really?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, well, those guys are quitters, you know. But all love, you know, those are my guys, you know. They've been part of the podcast, you know. If I've done reunion with them too, so it's
Yeah.
all love. Ain't no hate over here, bro. And then if you're joining us on the audio platforms, we made a certain move. We
may or may not regret it.
may or may not regret it, but we are monetized on the audio platforms now. So if you hear some commercials in there,
It's Ramzy's fault.
it's me adding those commercials. And we're trying to make some money over here, all right?
Yeah, Ramzy's broke, bro. He needs money.
Yeah. And I want to, you know, trying to do something over here,
All
you
right.
know? So yeah, they're monetized now, and that's a big step. Find us at Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us a like, rating. They don't do likes there.
Mhm.
Ratings and a comment if you prefer to listen rather than watching. So yeah, let's continue on.
Let's go.
Mr. Francisco,
Yeah,
bro.
repeating guest of the Shade of Brown.
Second time.
Is that often, or am I like 1 of 5, or am I like 1 of 50?
Actually probably a handful.
Oh, okay. So
Who's been repeated besides myself?
Gilbert, before he was part of it.
Okay.
Benjamin,
Okay.
he was a repeating one. Mr. Doze, he was a repeating one.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he was a repeating one.
So basically just 2. Like they would come in pairs of 2.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So 2.
okay. Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
2 and 2.
yeah.
2.
All right, cool. How was your actual first experience actually being on the podcast?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
was meeting one of the guys, Anthony, for the first time.
Yeah, he's a character.
So that was cool. He had really great questions,
Mhm.
engaging, conversationalist. So it was great.
Was that your first time being on a podcast
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah.
Is this your second time
This
being
is
on
my second time. Nobody wants me but you guys.
All right.
Hey, but
Were you guys still using that gold microphone when he came on?
right behind you, bro. It's that microphone right there, that relic. That one right there, that's the one we were using.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long journey, you know, since the last
Yeah,
time.
I mean this setup is sweet.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that.
You guys got monetized.
And we're monetized.
Yeah.
Barely. Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But things are happening over here. Things are rolling. over here.
I'm the main sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm the main sponsor.
Monetized.
Yeah. So yeah, man. All right. So I have some stuff over here that I want to talk about.
Okay, what you got?
Yeah.
Dun.
How did your
Wait. Is it PG?
Yeah.
Because we heard you're what are you, a pastor or something?
Yeah, I'm a pastor or something.
Hey, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
talk about
like I
Okay,
need to
yeah,
get to
yeah.
know him a little bit. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
I
let's
don't
get to
know.
know.
Yeah.
You know,
We-
I open my
Irvin-
mouth
Irvin's.
fairly wide sometimes that
This is your first time meeting Francisco.
chances are you'll probably get in trouble sitting next to me. So, hey, Rams invited you, and I always tell Rams, "Yo, you got it. It's all on you, bro."
I gotta start bringing like a disclosure or
I
something.
know, like
with
sign
the
a disclosure, bro, before you walk in.
All right, what do you want to know about Frisco?
So as far as like from what I've heard, you're a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been a pastor since 2015, 16.
Oh,
And I took a break
Nice.
like right before the pandemic hit. And I'm a pastor now currently. Yeah.
Okay.
where at?
So it's at a church in Lancaster. It's called Desert Vineyard.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on the east side of
Yeah.
Lancaster. So it's on
I used
Challenger
to
and
I used to go there.
Oh, really?
I used to go there.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that. I think I knew that you attended,
Yeah, I was going there frequently.
but I didn't know you were like
I think-
going consistently.
Yeah, I think maybe I could be wrong. I think that was before maybe you started to.
Oh, probably most likely.
yeah.
So I've only been there for about 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that had to be before then.
Yeah.
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 All right. And why pastor?
Big story. But let's see. Around my teenage years, I really had an experience with God where I really felt like my life was being touched by God. And a few years after that, I felt like God was calling me to be a pastor. We use this word calling, but in normal terms, it's, I felt inspired. I felt this sense of purpose in becoming a pastor and pastoring people and helping people on their spiritual journey. And so that's kind of what started it.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that young of an age?
No. I mean, it took years to develop. I think I sensed a call when I was about like 20, 21. And then, that I went to Bible college. I learned how to understand the Bible a lot better. I learned some interpretive tools when reading and interpreting the Bible. And so that really helped along the way. But it took years for me to say, yes, I'm a pastor. I accept it. And I'm going to move forward in that calling. Yeah.
That's cool. And as far as when it came down to your actual final decision, what was what set it for you? Like to say like, okay, I'm going to take this role.
That title.
Yeah. So I think for me, it was challenging because when you think about taking on a certain position, you think about who's in that position, right? So if you aspire to be a basketball player, then you look up to a professional basketball player and so forth.
Yeah.
If you want to be a singer, so forth, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, the idea of being a pastor just didn't resonate with me, just because those who I knew as pastors, they felt so away from me, right? Like so far away. Like I don't think I could see myself being that person. And so it took a lot of time for me to understand and accept that I can be myself and be a pastor. And as a pastor, I get to bring out my own personality and my own contribution to that. And I get to bring that to that role, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes me unique. And so it took some time to accept that, though.
Okay. That's cool. Was there any hesitancy as far as like even putting yourself in that position as being a pastor?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think there's a lot of barriers, right? So I don't come from a family of pastors. So a lot of the times when you hear of pastors, there's a lineage, right? My father was a pastor. My grandfather was a pastor. My great, there's a history there that is non-existent in my family. And so for me, it was like a brand new endeavor. And I had no familial reference to it. So that was a barrier. And then going to Bible college and learning. And then I think the Bible itself is a big barrier because it's complicated. It's ancient library. And so it takes a lot of time and energy. And I gave myself to the study of the Bible and interpreting it properly and responsibly. And so it took time. So that's one of the barriers as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I have a billion questions. I just don't want to go off topic.
No, I was digging it. I was digging it, bro.
Yeah, because bro, don't push the deep end, bro.
Why? What? We're okay,
Hey.
bro. We're
Hey.
okay. Okay, we're okay. Did you see the list?
I don't like.
No, you
looking at
didn't.
it.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't like looking
All
at it.
right. All right. So how do you're a pastor, obviously. We just talked about that, and you went to Bible school and all that, and like your daily life. Do you integrate that whole principles in your everyday life and decision making?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't really separate it, right?
It's a walk of life.
Yeah, you can't separate it. So being a pastor means that you are a spiritual example, you're a spiritual leader.
Does that weigh heavy on you?
I don't think it should.
No. So I'll say it like this. What did you say?
I don't think it should.
Oh, you don't think it should? Yeah. I'll say it like this. I think it was daunting when I was a teenager. It felt like, oh, no way. It kind of felt like I needed to reach perfection. It took a lot of time and it took a lot of years for me to realize that, this is a privilege. And with this privilege, there are certain responsibilities and accountabilities as well. But it's a beautiful path to be on. And I see it as a journey. Yeah. I'm on a journey, right? Yeah. I'm on a journey to be the best person that I can be, to be the best human that I can be. And I follow Jesus. And for me, being the best human means following Jesus.
Yeah.
That's not the case for everyone, but for me, it does as a Christian pastor.
Yeah.
And so it's a journey. And I wouldn't say it weighs heavy on me. I see it as an opportunity to grow. I see it as an opportunity to continue to give myself to the role and to the call.
That's cool.
The reason why I asked that, because I've talked to worship pastors, in that area in the church, right?
You might need to describe what that is.
A worship
might not know. What
worship pastor is the music, the leading role in the music ministry in the church. They're the one like
where's the sound effect, bro?
Leading everything.
Get that sound effect.
Oh, okay. Let me see. This one right here, you mean?
Sleep,
you talking about this one?
There you go.
There you go.
That's that guy right there.
Yeah. So I've talked to because I was playing at the Highlands, the drums, and I've talked to the worship leaders, and I've asked them those kind of questions like, oh, well, like, do you ever feel like you're walking on eggshells, or so many eyes are on you, and you ever feel like, and I asked them this question, like, how do you feel about like this whole, because I know. No, this is taboo in some cases. But like, I asked them, do you drink? And they said, yeah, I do. Okay, like where? And like, at my house. Why? I don't go out when I drink. And I was like, why? Because if I go out to drink and someone sees me in the church, it's going to look bad. And I was like, well, that kind of is kind of like walking on eggshells, man.
Sure.
Like, even if they're at Chili's?
Yeah, like eating dinner or whatever, and I think it comes to a perspective kind of thing, or a different spiritual level.
No, I think it's just becoming to the point where it's the idea of the virtue of themselves, which for me, that's the one thing I've always been cautious of. I would rather be around someone that's truly themselves completely, whether they call themselves Christian or Catholic, whatever type of religion.
Yeah.
But as long as they don't hold themselves too far into a virtue where they have to put a facade for the public, that to me is more authentic. Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of people do fall into that concept of what you're saying, because they're scared to be judged because they themselves are judging themselves.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's kind of crazy because like I went out with one. We went out to eat, and he ordered a beer in front of me. He started drinking in front of me. I was like, oh, shoot. I didn't know you drink like that, I drink, but like I'm very disciplined in the whole drinking thing.
Sí, Simon. Yeah, mero. Ya te creo. A virtue right now, right?
I didn't judge or anything. I'm like, well, that's okay. I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's just one beer, bro, And that's why I asked, like, the whole weighing heavy, not the whole alcohol aspect of it. I'm talking about the whole walking on eggshells part where, like, people are watching you, are expecting you to be a certain way at all times. And at the end of the day, you're a human being too. You fall short at the glory of God, just like the rest of us. That's why I asked that.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about alcohol consumption specifically, right? And
I would go even broader. I would go any type of judgment, right?
Any type of
Yeah.
judgment. Yeah.
right. I'm just because you spoke about the alcohol
Yeah.
factor, um, it varies from church to church,
It does.
right? And so there might be a more conservative church when it comes to alcohol consumption and the alcohol consumption of the leaders and whether they should do that publicly or privately, so
Yeah.
it really varies, and that's just one, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about a whole list of them, but it really does vary from Christian community to Christian community.
Yeah.
The community being the type of Christian they are.
Yeah. The church that they belong to.
Mm.
Yeah, because there's, you think about Christianity, right? And there's 3 branches of Christianity in the world, right? And then within the branches, you have different
demographics. Or what are they called?
Yeah. You have different circles,
whatever.
dominations or kinds of churches that have different values and different practices. And so there's a wide net of Christians.
There's no pinpointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the kind of things like being around these spiritual leaders, quote unquote. And like, I understand. Like at the end of the day, like I get it. They're human too. I'm not gonna expect them to be perfect. And I've seen some act a certain way, and I'm like, that's okay with me, bro. I get it. Like that. Like as long as you're trying and you're doing a really good job. At the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
And this whole, how do you say, facade of being such a perfect, straight spiritual leader.
But you could tell though. That's. I think that's the biggest thing that I've. For me personally, I don't go to church, and it's always been more of like my intuition has always hit fairly hard.
Sure.
Especially when it comes down to the unauthentic person.
Yeah.
I understand what church is. It's a form of community, which I like. I think people should be together. But for me, when I'm somewhere near a community and I'm already hinting at a personality type that I'm like, oh, you're acting a part when I'm walking that part and you're trying to be my part, but you're doing it unauthentic. That to me is very off-putting. I can't learn from here. It's just more of like, they call it a hospital, right? They're getting
spiritual hospital.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's I'm like, well, what am I gonna get? Am I gonna get a disease here? What's going on? Like it's not gonna happen for me. I'm like, I would rather be outside and be by myself. Like I don't feel like I'm lonely. If anything, I feel better when I'm by myself, like I'm just being me, and I would rather not act like someone that I know that I'm not wanting to become because they're acting a certain type of way. And if they're judging themselves, like who knows what they're judging me on? And I'm like, bro, like I can't do it. I haven't found a church, to be honest with you, where I could feel 100% authentic to myself, just because I'm always authentic to myself. And I feel like that's where my business grew. As far as like where it's at now, it's because I've always been me. Regardless of if I had money or I don't have money, it's always been me going on the path that I want to go into, regardless of whatever it is that I may not do. It might suit the Christian beliefs. I don't drink, but it has nothing to do with religion. It's just, I just don't like doing it. I just never felt like I needed to do it. So what's the point? But I've never had a pastor or a priest tell me don't drink because it's a sin. It's just like, what's the point of drinking? There's no benefit. In my head, it's like, it's just logic. So that's kind of where in my head goes into like, okay, where are we at when it comes to religion when you don't even fit in when it comes to the religion? Like I think I told Rams that I recently spoke to a priest,
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm not Catholic. And I was asking him hard questions too. Yeah. And this is the first time that I actually met someone with that position in the Catholic Church where I felt like he was an actual person. And I connected more to him as a person rather than him as a priest. And he was like a priest, monk, or something like that. He told me the tiers of what they were. And I'm like, I just started laughing because I'm like, bro, you guys have too many titles. And from that conversation, I felt more comfortable being with that person, knowing that he himself actually is wanting to be that person. Because I didn't feel that, that disbelief. I'm like, I'm just doing it for my family, or I'm doing it because I'm hiding something. For him, I knew he believed in what he was actually, I guess, preaching or saying exactly. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people actually fall into, even like I would say priests, they fall into because they're hiding something. And I've actually met a couple of priests that I'm like, bro, you're gay. Like I know you're gay, and you could tell. And I'm like, bro, like you're hiding behind religion because you're either too scared to actually announce it to the world or to yourself or even to your family. So that's kind of where my head goes into, like where do I fit? Because it's always been imbalance of like personality types for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I hear you touch on is the hypocrisy
Yeah.
in religious leadership.
Hmm.
And so I think that's a huge thing that's real, and exists. And I think people hide behind a lot of things, and religion is just one of those things that people hide behind as well. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to think about that though. Like hiding behind it, because you see people hide behind a lot of different things, but even religion, bro. Like hiding behind religion.
Well, we see it in movies, right? We always see that crazy Christian lady that is always preaching to like the whole group, like you're all sinners, and they make her all crazy. And I'm like, yeah, but her herself is like a psychopath at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
Because she's hiding her own demons or whatever.
Yeah. How do you you've been to all this studying? I'm sure you studied a lot with the Bible, and probably more so beyond that. What I really loved about you is growing up, because we've known each other for a very long time, and we both went to a church where our parents were going, and you used to preach there too.
You're a Pentecostal?
Yeah.
You were or still are?
Currently, the church that I belong to is not a Pentecostal church.
Okay.
It would be considered a charismatic church. There's some differences there. But I was a pastor at a Pentecostal denomination. And so the undergraduate degree that I got was at a Pentecostal denominational college, Bible college. And so I'm well familiar with the Pentecostal theology and practice. And what Ramzy's talking about, we were part of a Pentecostal, non-denominational, Spanish-speaking, mainly immigrants within that community. Yeah.
Yeah, what I loved about when you were preaching, there was a difference when someone is knowledgeable with the Bible and when someone is full of wisdom with the Bible. And I think you were full of wisdom of it rather than knowledgeable. Because knowledgeable, anybody can learn that, but being wise with the Bible goes way further.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm going to laugh just because even though I deeply appreciate that, at that time, I was so young.
But what I'm saying is like the character you were, even at a young age.
Yeah.
I saw how, because I knew guys that age, when we were that age, that knew a lot about the Bible, but they'll just say things to be like, I'm that guy, I know this stuff.
Sure.
Just
it was like a boast.
Yeah. Well, at the time too, were you a part of the Outsiders?
I attended from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were within our era then.
Yeah. So I knew the leaders. I knew the leader and the leaders, and I attended consistently, but I wasn't. Sometimes I wouldn't go. That kind of stuff. I spoke at quite a few. I mean, so long ago, but probably spoke 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And then I moved out. I moved down south to LA.
Yeah, because what I was saying was around those years, I hated going to the church. I'll be straight up, right? I was deep into the whole skateboarding thing and everything. Keep it real. And I really, really disliked people that were knowledgeable, quote unquote, with the Bible. I hated those guys.
But they weren't unauthentic, or you just hated that they knew the Bible?
No, it was more like the way they would tell me, like, oh, such and such verse this is like that, and I didn't get no wisdom out of it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like that, it wasn't feeding my soul.
It was just information.
It was just empty information.
Well, that's kind of what I said about the priest. Like half of the time I spoke to any pastor or priest, they would always go off of scripture, and I'm like, no, I want to know you. Like I want to know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like let's talk about actual experiences, and let me see where you're coming from. And then if you want to give me a scripture fitting it, cool, but don't just verbatim, just tell me this. And I'm like, that gave me nothing.
Sure.
Yeah. And I knew that character about you, Francisco, when I was younger. And whenever I would go to church and I saw you were going to preach, like, okay, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I mean, and for reference, I was about How old was I? Like,
You're like
I
18?
was like 18.
Yeah, you're a kid.
You
bro.
know, I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I really was trying my best
Yeah. Best
to,
believe I saw that.
I was trying my best, and I was really trying to integrate, you know, the words of the Bible in my life experience. And in my life experience, I don't mean like, you know, like that I had a lot of years of life experience,
Yeah.
but what I was experiencing at that time, I was really trying to integrate my faith with my life. And it was real to me. You know, it was real back then. It was real now as well. It wasn't fake. You know, I wasn't performing. I was trying my best to do
That
what I
part.
believed.
That
What
part.
what I believed was what was an invitation from God to me, to lead or to preach or to teach, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's that part when you said performing. Yeah, that hit right there. I really love that you said that. That was the difference that I saw in you. Yeah, it was it's more so where I saw like he's really about it, you know, and I love that. I love that
Yeah.
about you, bro. You're really about it,
I
bro.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
You want to hold
Thanks.
hands or what? What's going on?
yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like the this let's get into some like your current, what's your favorite thing to talk about in the scriptures?
Oh, okay. Scriptures.
That's not even part of the whole thing. I'm not even looking at this
Bro,
anymore.
why are you looking at it then? You're acting
That
like
was
you're
just
reading
that was
it,
just
bro.
top of my head.
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Oh my
So,
God.
my favorite thing is helping people understand the Bible. And so, specifically the New Testament, I think the Bible's incredible. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a work of art.
Mhm.
I think it's engaging, compelling, fascinating. And so for me, it's important, because I feel privileged that I got to spend years studying the Bible,
Mhm.
learning about interpretive tools and how to understand, how to interpret. And so I like to turn that around and give back. Because I
Yeah.
know everyone can't go to Bible college. It's
Mhm.
expensive, you know, it's a lot of time and energy. And so because of that, I feel very privileged that I got the opportunity to do it. And I like to give back because if I was a 16 or 17-year-old, I wish that I had someone like me to pour into that 16, 17-year-old because I was lost. I was reading the Bible by myself and attempting to interpret it by myself.
Damn.
And you know, I did the best that I could,
Yeah.
but it wasn't very good, you know.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah, it wasn't
too.
very good. But
You
I
were
wish
hungry,
I
bro.
wish I had a mentor. You know,
Yeah.
I wish I had someone that would sit down with me and say, "Hey, like think about the genre here. You know, this is a story. You know,
Yeah.
this parable is a made up story, and parables." When Jesus gave a parable, he was looking for to evoke an emotion, a response. You know, look out for what you think that response would be, and look for the audience. Who was Jesus talking to when he said this parable? He was talking to religious leaders. Why was he talking to religious leaders? Well, they were trying to trap him. You know, so he was responding to that kind of energy. You know, so
Damn.
I wish I'd had that
Yeah.
when I was a 17, 18-year-old, just reading the Bible and I had no guidelines on how to interpret.
Yeah.
And so I like to give back, you know, I like to help people understand genre, biblical genre, you know, I like to help people understand how to understand the last letter of the New Testament and the Bible, which is Revelation, you know,
Yeah.
like this crazy apocalyptic book, you know, like we got to understand the genre, which is apocalyptic literature. It's prophetic literature. What is prophecy? You know, how do we understand prophecy from an Old Testament and New Testament perspective?
Yeah.
And how does that help us understand the words in those 22 chapters? You know, so all of that, you know, so that's one of my favorite things. I'm actually a Bible teacher as well,
Mhm.
and I teach out a Christian high school here in the area, and so I get to do that with sophomores and juniors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get to do that right now.
Which is like around the age you were.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
Full circle.
there you go.
Full circle.
Now you're that mentor.
Yeah, I get to do that in a formal educational setting. You know, I created the class, and so I get to make the curriculum, update the curriculum, teach the curriculum that I created, and so it's a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah, and I get to do it here, you know, locally, you know, so it's a blessing. I feel like God really really has blessed me and really has heard my cry, and I feel like I'm really tapping into the things that I was made for, you know.
He saw your heart, dude.
Yeah.
He saw your hunger for
Yeah.
it, passion, really. Too.
Yeah, so it's great. I love
Yeah.
it. That's one of the things that I love to talk about when it comes to the Bible. Yeah.
Wow, dude. I really dig that.
All right, look at your iPad, act like you're reading, and ask her another question.
So he asked all the questions?
He's pretending to ask the questions, bro.
Now the last one was just top of my head, bro. It wasn't part of this, dude.
See, he's like scrolling, like, but it's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
What's your favorite story?
In general?
Yeah, in the Bible.
Oh, in the Bible. Favorite story. God, that's
I think the
a
one with
tough
Job is crazy.
Job? Oh,
That was
yeah, the book of
crazy.
Job is crazy. Man, honestly, you're pinning me. It's hard to choose a favorite story. Lazarus. John 11.
Okay.
Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead.
Oh.
One of my favorite stories, mainly because of the interaction with Lazarus' sisters and Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus is about 2 miles away when he hears about his friend who is sick, and he waits a few days before he goes. And
Do you think he did that to prove a point?
I can say so much. Don't ask me these questions. So I'm gonna take forever on this question. But Jesus is on his way back, and he encounters his two sisters.
Yeah.
And his two sisters essentially say, Jesus, if you were here, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it deeply resonates with how so many people feel about God. Like, people feel angry with God. Like, how can you let my husband die?
And
How-
we're that sister.
Yeah, and
we're
so
them.
part of the beauty of the Bible is that we actually identify with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so exactly what you just said, we are the sisters of
Mhm.
Lazarus. We act like that because
Mhm.
it's historical documentation. So it's just telling us, you know, the human behavior, the human tendencies.
Mhm.
And so that's where you preach. You preach from that, and it's relevant. You know, this document that was 2,000 years old. When you're talking about the New Testament, it's 2,000 years old from the first century, ancient Near East. Different culture, different time, and so
Yeah.
it's complicated in terms of understanding. But there's beautiful English translations
Yeah.
that really help us. But it's relevant because it's talking about the human, like what it means to be human,
Yeah.
and how humans interact with God, the expectations humans have with God, and the way God responds. You know, I've always
Yeah.
thought about why the Bible's so important, and I really think it's so important because if God exists, and if the Bible is really inspired by God, so if you assume those two theological assumptions,
Yeah.
then the Bible is telling us who God is.
Yeah.
And so if you believe those assumptions, then you conclude with this document actually gives us a glimpse of the character of God, of the behavior of God's heart, of God's mind. And for me, I'm very interested in that. If
Mm.
God exists, I want to know who God is. You know, how does he behave? What does he think about the world? What does he think about evil? You know, what does he think about children? What does he think about the elderly? What does he think about the poor? What does he think about the privileged with power? What does he think about people that abused power? You know, and the Bible answers those questions.
Yeah. I feel with it's to me it's like a repeating theme in the Bible where it kind of seems like God is like testing our and so some words is like faith in him and everything, and also patience too, I think. Where Abraham and his son, right? And because God made a promise to him, right? But then this guy over here, Abraham, loses his patience or loses faith because his wife or whatever can't bear a kid, right? And it's also then with the sisters thing, it's kind of like the same kind of like impatient
Mhm.
thing going on, you know? And it's kind of like God is almost like playing with our patience, you know? It's like, I'm gonna let me cook, basically, in this Gen Z words, you know? Let him cook, you know? And I just see like the whole impatient theme going on, like when God tells you, like, don't worry about it, I got it, you know? But it's gonna be in my time, not in yours.
Right.
You know, and I see that repeated thing going on in the Bible.
Yeah.
I think we are those sisters.
Yeah, we are.
We are very impatient creatures.
You look like a sister.
Una hermana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are reaching the 30-minute mark, and I had to give room for, the commercials now because we monetized over here.
Don't they do it randomly though? We don't even get to pick, right? Or do we do a timeline, or that we tell them?
No, I drop it in.
Oh, you do it.
I drop them in.
Okay, gotcha.
I drop them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the way it's set up. So if you guys hear a lot of commercials, it's probably me, bro. So yeah, we'll be right back after these messages. Shoo! All right, we are back. I hope you guys like those commercials. I hope I'm not overdoing it. But yeah. All right. So when we were taking a break, there was a certain topic that I don't know how it got brought up, but I wanted to talk about it on this episode. Maybe give me an enlightenment on this. All right.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So I also come from a Christian background, and I kind of went. We do come from a Pentecostal church, but then I kind of went to apostolic.
Ooh,
What's that?
you gotta break that down.
Dude, how do I?
Like Scientology or what? What's going on?
No, that's not Scientology.
What is it?
It's just like they have different methods.
What is it?
It's what I saw when I was going there is where they don't say, which caught me like was like a curveball. Like when I say Dios me bendiga, hermano, because it was in Spanish, right?
Mhm.
They go Padre Cristo, hermano.
No, they say paz de Cristo.
Oh, Paz de Cristo.
Paz de Cristo.
You were
Paz
saying
de
it wrong
Cristo.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been years, bro. I don't remember.
So they told you every time, and you never
Yeah.
got it right.
That's why I kicked them out.
I wasn't used to it. I just never said it.
Let's tell
Okay.
Rams we're moving. Let's tell
Even though
Rams
I
we're
was
moving.
there, I
So,
never said it.
You thought they said pan de Cristo?
No, Padre Cristo. I thought
No, it's paz de Cristo.
Paz de Cristo?
It's peace of God
Oh.
or peace of Christ.
Oh, okay, but
yeah.
I didn't really, I didn't care really because I never said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll just be like hermano. That's it. Hermano, right?
Yeah.
It was like a Christian church?
It was a Christian church.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think they're more strict too.
Really? Than Pentecostals?
I think they're more strict.
What was
bro.
it, like Seventh-day Adventists?
Because I remember the hermanas and all the girls, they had to wear dresses, skirts, whatever.
But Pentecostals do that too.
No, but the apostolics, like even outside of church.
It depends. So back to my comment. It depends on even the Pentecostals.
Oh.
There's a wide range of Christian.
There's more
practices.
branches in the Pentecostals?
It's just
Like
it
the
varies.
hardcore,
it
less
varies.
hardcore, medium.
It varies church
lenient.
to church, and
It's so interesting, dude. Like,
the church
it's crazy.
leader
There's like levels.
gets to decide, like, okay, this is how the women are going to dress, or this is how you're going to dress if you're on stage, or
Yeah.
so it really varies leader to leader.
I remember when I first started going, it was such a different thing, dude. I was so new to that. I remember like we hung out like outside of church, and I was like one time they were dressed in the dresses and everything. I was like, let it slide, whatever. And then it was like repetitive, outside of church, hanging
Yeah.
outside. And I was like, hey, don't you guys wear pants?
With the like
I
long
literally
skirts
said that.
and everything, like the long dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you guys wear pants? He's like, oh no, it's because we're not allowed to. I was like, what the? I was like, what's going on? And
Like,
I wasn't allowed to grow like facial hair. I had to be shaved, bro.
So how did you end up there?
Yeah, how'd you end up there?
I got
Swapped in there?
offered. It was like a huge like
Opportunity?
convention thing,
Uh-huh.
like a big service.
Yeah,
They really hyped it up. It was a 3-day thing, and their music pastor hit me up, and because I was playing drums,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't know how he found out. Like, I guess I knew how to play everything, and he's like, hey, come to my church, because I never met him before. I don't know how he found out.
Was this out here?
Yeah, and he wanted me to help him out because they didn't need a drummer. They didn't have a drummer. He said, yeah, paid hotel. We pay you outside of the hotel and just come help us out, you know, like that. And I was like, okay. And then did it. And I guess they really liked how I did things and everything. And they're like, hey, what about if you come play with us and we'll pay you? And I was like, all right.
You just heard money, bro.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I did it for the money. I'll be straight up.
Okay, so it was a job.
It was a job.
It was a job.
All right.
It was a job.
It was a job,
I
but
was young.
Yeah, yeah.
I was young, broke.
How old are you?
I was 19, 18.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a great drummer.
Thank you.
So I would pay you to play drums.
Thank you. And yeah, it was just how I got, it kind of like reeled me in with that, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And then going into the, what we're going to talk about is the baptized part.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a rule that you had to get baptized through their church?
I got baptized twice, bro.
But through their church?
One time Pentecostal.
Yeah, yeah.
And the second time apostolic.
Why?
Because they literally told me.
They bamboozled you.
They literally told me because I guess the pastor was like, hey, who is this guy? Why is he playing here?
Yeah, who is this guy?
Is he even Christian or whatever? He started asking questions.
He looks dirty.
You're right.
He needs a shower.
You say I'm Ramzy.
And I'm like, I'm just some guy, bro.
Just
you
some
know,
brown folk.
I'm just some raggedy ass guy. I'm nobody, bro. And I basically told him
You
that.
should say, who are you? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
I eventually did, bro. Eventually did. And then he started asking questions about me, like, hey, no, this isn't right. He needs to be baptized if he wants to be up here playing. And I was like,
And you're like,
He needs to be
okay.
baptized if he wants that paycheck.
Okay.
basically, bro.
Aquí
Yeah.
me baño.
Basically. And I told him, I'm already baptized.
Yeah.
Like, remember they used to give him certificates?
I know what happened. He
What happened?
invalidated your baptism.
He validated my baptism. Invalidated.
Because he made you get baptized in his church.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
He took away
Yeah.
your
All right, come
baptism.
on, what happened? I'm
so
anxious to
technically,
hear
you're
the
not even
story.
baptized now.
The baptism got reversed?
Yeah,
or-
bro.
Okay,
He
so
erased it. He washed
so
it away.
He said your baptism before doesn't count.
Yeah.
Basically.
Literally,
Okay.
bro.
Basically. And
But why? What was his reasoning? I can guess, but I don't want to guess.
Yeah, I could guess too.
I want Irvin to know.
Yeah. Because they had recycled water and they're like, hey, we got extra water here.
no, they don't believe in the Trinity. Apostolic. They don't believe in that.
What do
dude.
they believe in then?
It's just Jesus. That's it. It's just one being.
Okay.
It's just that.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that.
No, that's what they literally told me.
That's what they
Okay,
told him.
let's see. All right, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
the God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, right? The Trinity.
Yeah, so
thing.
the Father, the Son, and the Holy
Oh,
Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
That's the doctrine of the Trinity. It means you believe there's one God, but three persons.
Yeah. So they said, I'm just like generalizing it. Basically, it was because of that, it didn't really count. It needed to be under the name of Jesus, like literally just because of that. You gotta say name of Jesus when they dip you in and all that, right? And I was like, I was so confused, bro. I was like, what? Like I thought I was good.
Yeah,
Bro, you got diddy. I feel like they invited you to a party and they're like, all right, let's get him.
So
Let's get the baby oil.
I don't know if they would say we don't believe in the Trinity. Did they say that
I was told that, bro.
specifically?
Yeah.
They say we don't believe in the
Bro,
Trinity.
I wouldn't be saying it if they didn't say that, bro.
Because what I'm not too versed in the apostolic theology,
Yeah.
but I do know that you got to get baptized in the name of Jesus. And I'll tell you where this comes from.
Mhm.
This comes from Acts 2. So the New Testament has four,
I remember that.
It starts with the story of Jesus. There's 4 stories: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. After
Yeah.
John is the book of Acts.
Yeah.
All right. In Acts 2, Peter is preaching and he commands those he's preaching to. And he says, be baptized in the name of Jesus for the forgiveness of your sins.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they take from that passage and they say, if you're going to get baptized, you must be baptized in the name of Jesus because that's how Peter instructed the early Christians to get baptized.
Yeah.
But this is the issue with that, is that Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, which is the first book of the New Testament, Matthew 28, before he ascended back to heaven, after he was crucified and after he resurrected, he told his disciples, Therefore, go and make disciples, teaching them all that I've taught you, and baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
So Jesus gives his followers instructions to baptize people in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So Apostolic Church, they'll erase or ignore Matthew 28 and they'll emphasize Acts 2.
Mhm.
So so that's where that comes from. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, because I remember the whole Acts thing. I remember
that's
that.
all religions though. Like as far
Yeah.
as like the doctrines, like they have their own doctrine for everything. I'm
Yeah.
like Catholic Church. Another question that I had for the priest, I'm like, bro, I feel like we've come to a point where we're worshiping items, and I'm not just talking about the cross. I'm talking about the actual church itself. Because I was talking specifically about items because Catholic Church, they have everything overly fancy as far as like from what I've seen when I've gone to St. Mary's. Like they go overly top on the floor. The wood's really nice. Like it's nice and echoey and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where you're worshiping right now at this point for me personally. And that was a question that I had for him because I'm like, yeah, I understand certain aspects, and for me, I'm going off of logic. I'm like, if I heard something, but you're actually going against it, then where does that leave me when I'm going and trying my best to be optimistic about what you're trying to preach to me? Once going again with what you were saying, it's like the doctrines, like what are we following? Like, are we following the Bible or are we following someone else's rules
Or interpretations.
Because that guy is basically dumped you in that water, bro.
I was double dipped.
Bro, did he get COVID?
So okay, so you said yes.
Of course, bro.
Said yes.
I did it for the money.
Look, I don't get double baptized. I don't continue to receive a check. If I get dipped again, that check continues to come.
Was it at least good money, bro?
It was good.
All right. For the time, bro.
It was good enough for a
the
double
time.
baptism.
For the time, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was double dipped, bro.
So, did it feel off to you? How did you feel?
It felt all right.
It's like the water was nice and cool.
It was refreshing.
It was middle of summer, bro.
Did they know a favor?
Oh man, this is actually my first time talking about this. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Confession.
Was it a pool or
It's a
river?
confession,
It's a
bro.
confession.
Where was it at?
The second time, it was in a little tub, bro.
They bought it?
Yeah, it
Like
was
in the
like
church?
aluminum tubs, bro. Like
Wow.
it was makeshift, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. Second time, no, the first time was dope. I was at a lake, bro.
Oh.
That was dope.
That
I had
was
a lot
cool.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, man.
Double dip.
Double dip, man. I'm double dip, bro.
Yeah, you have to do it again though.
But what about like, okay, since we're talking about baptisms and all that, the whole double dipping, the name, Nombre de Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo, like the Catholics baptize kids, bro.
Babies.
Yeah.
And they don't even dip them.
They
It's
put
just
the
like
water.
just on the head a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't agree with it, because I could feel it. That I don't think that's right because these kids are already innocent, already, bro. And was that Bible verse? The kids or babies are kingdom of heaven, something like that. Already, bro. Like you don't need to baptize them, bro. Like they're already good.
It's just part of the culture.
Yeah.
So it has to do with part of their theology and their practice, right? So in the Catholic Church, it's called infant baptism, right? And the baptism is actually for a different purpose. So in evangelical churches, which Pentecostal will fall under evangelical, in evangelical churches, we believe that you should be an adult because you should make a conscious decision to follow Jesus. And baptism is a public declaration of you saying yes to giving your life to Jesus, right? And so, a 3-year-old, it's not really there, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Or a 6-month-old, it's not
Yeah.
really there. In the Catholic Church, it's a little bit different. Baptism is more so seen as a kind of a membership to the Christian community, right? Or to the Catholic community, right? So it's like saying, so for example, I have two kids. Let's say my second daughter, when she was born, she got infant baptized. It would be me saying Vita. Her name is Vita. So it would be me and my wife saying we want Vita to belong to this Catholic church, and we're going to baptize her as a way to symbolize that she is part of this Catholic community. It's kind of like a membership, right?
Oh.
Like we want her to know that we as parents endorse this community,
Initiation.
right? And she's a part of it,
Yeah.
right? So that's what infant baptism is more about.
Yeah, and then they have 2 more steps
which
after
makes
that.
which makes a lot of sense because in the Catholic Church they do those kind of things where like you have to do a certain kind of thing to be a member.
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
get to get married into a Catholic
Yeah,
church.
even that's another
you have
one.
to do what your first communion, and then after that your catechism, I think it's called.
Catechism.
Yeah. And then from there, like if you don't have none of those, you can't get married in the Catholic Church.
So interesting.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
once again, it's every religion, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every religion, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you guys, but I'm gonna watch. I've gone to a Pentecostal church. I'm like, okay, why are you guys speaking in tongue? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I know you guys are faking. Why are you faking? Stop faking.
Yeah.
I've seen Borat. It's faking too.
Hey, you just reminded me about this whole faking thing. One time, let me tell you an experience I had, bro.
Bro, you speak in tongue?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
No. It was an outside service, and this is Pentecostal, not apostolic. This is before that. It was a
Before the
huge.
double dipping.
No, this is different.
Got more money.
And there was this. They hyped up this pastor come through, and a lot of people went. It was crazy, and pastor was praying for people to be healed, if you were sick or if you had some kind of pain or whatever, right? And I remember this gonna sound funny. I had a sore tooth, bro. You know, and I was like, why not? You know, and I went up.
What can I lose?
What can I lose? Yeah, a tooth.
What?
You know,
It's hurting.
it's hurting, bro, and I believe in Jesus.
Yeah,
You know,
You didn't have money for that dentist, bro. They didn't pay him enough.
I was young. I didn't have dental
Phil
insurance,
saved me a trip to the dental office.
Exactly.
So be it.
but I went up, and I guess the pastor knew I was one of the worship team because I was playing there too, and I was there. I had my hands up and everything. I was like, I wanted to believe, right? I was believing. I had faith and everything. On this side of the ear, so keep in mind, on this side of my face, I was facing sideways on the stage. On my right side is the whole crowd, but on the left side is him praying into my ear or whatever. And like what?
He was like,
And
whispering.
then with his mic, he goes like this. He pulls it away, and he goes, pretends it's my ear. He goes, "Say yes."
What?
He told me to say yes, and he's like, "Are you healed?" And
Oh shit!
and I was like, I got so scared.
Wow.
I got so scared. I started shaking, dude.
Wow.
And I didn't want to say yes. I didn't say yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I froze, dude. I froze when he told me that, dude. And I was like, this is.
So he
he's
was trying,
fake,
he was
bro.
trying to fabricate.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah. He's like, this guy's fake, dude. And I'll never forget that
Wow,
incident.
that's insane.
That's crazy. Did he say anything after you didn't say anything?
And
was
since
it
I
just
didn't
awkward?
say anything, I kind of went. I had my hands up, and then after he told me, I kind of went like this
Mhm.
a little bit. But my hands were still kind of up, but they were like not open anymore. They were
Mhm.
like this. And he goes, "Hallelujah!" He's like that. He said he's healed.
Bro, how'd you get into these situations, bro?
They asked him to come play
Hey,
drums.
hey,
I
They
got-
said,
hey.
"Come, and we'll give you a little check."
My tooth still hurt, bro.
He still went to the dental office.
I mean, I've been in those situations, bro. Yeah,
But
dude.
why would you get into those situations? Or how do you get into
Bro, I was,
He was drumming, and his tooth was
Oh
hurting.
my god.
and I believed,
Yeah,
bro.
you believe.
Yeah, bro. Simple as that, dude.
I guess ignorance is a bliss, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Did that? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did that take away faith from God?
With me, personally?
that's a crappy situation.
Yeah, yeah.
right. Like that's
That
horrific.
I don't wish that upon anybody, bro.
Uh-huh.
Especially if you're seeking God. Especially that. Lucky for me, my faith was still firm in Jesus. that didn't phase me.
Okay, so it didn't bother you.
It didn't bother me. I was just shocked.
It didn't cloud your faith.
No, it just made me realize, oh, forget this guy.
This guy's fake.
Yeah. I still believe there's real,
And you never said nothing to that guy?
No. But I did start talking, with the homies in the church, like that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Was he like a member?
I would have went to whoever put that together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like this is my experience.
Yeah.
But you're young.
I was
and
young, bro.
There's a lot of intimidation.
How old were you?
And
I was 17.
You're old, bro.
17.
Eres viejo.
17, going into 18, somewhere around there. Yeah, dude. Looking for me, it didn't shake.
20 years ago.
Why you gotta make it sound like that? But yeah, dude.
To this day.
dude. That was a crazy moment, bro.
That's crazy.
That was a crazy moment.
Say yes.
Yeah, dude. Whisper in my ear. No, but in Spanish, he's like, "Diga que sí." and which is crazy because I was before he prayed for me, he was praying for other people, and they were going like this, like yeah. And I'm like, it makes me, to this day, I don't know for sure. Like, was he telling him to say the same thing?
Sure. Everybody gets in the emotion, especially if you're with the crowd. You know, you get really hyped up throughout, I guess, the
was
energy.
he being selective to who say that or whatever? Or maybe maybe he saw like, oh, they really believe I don't have to even say it,
Yeah,
you know
the older people, I'm pretty sure they're more just into the idea.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know what maybe he saw that like, I didn't believe or something. He's like, hey, you better say yeah.
Maybe because you're a part of the worship team?
That's what I said.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it's just crazy, bro. Crazy.
Did you speak in tongue?
Have I ever?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember they tried, bro, like so hard.
They try to teach you?
Bro, I was looked at as a sinner if I didn't speak in tongues, bro.
Really? How'd you do it?
I never did.
Oh.
Look, this is one thing about me, bro. Like, I never cared about a pastor, how he thought about me, bro. And
you've always wanted to stay integrous, right?
I knew who I was.
You wanted to be true to yourself.
I knew who it was, bro. The Apostolic Church, where they were strict in the dress code, bro. They tell me to wear button-up shirts, but I'm still in my skater shoes, bro. Because I knew who I was,
you
bro.
found ways.
Yeah.
He said, I know who I am.
Bro, I knew, like, they'll tell me, why are you wearing those shoes?
I got Nike SB socks.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, I like these shoes. These shoes are more and more comfortable than dress shoes, bro. And
but that's like a way around it, right? Because they're not going to police your shoe. Right?
No, because they're not gonna have me walking around with socks, bro. Yeah. And I remember I always knew who I was, and that's
except when you got baptized twice.
I did it for the money, right?
Well, that's what I mean, bro. Apparently, you forgot then. All it takes is money. I bet you if that guy slipped you a 20, you would have said yes.
If I gotta go in water so I can keep my job, I'm gonna go in some water.
When I coming out of the water, my check was ready, bro.
Like direct deposit over here.
Yeah, that direct deposit hit, bro. All right, so this is like borderline.
How long did you last at that church? Now I need to know. How long did that baptism work for you?
I was there for like 4 years.
Dang, you lasted, bro.
4 years, bro.
Dang.
I was there for 4 years, bro. The money was good.
The money was good, bro.
Yeah, dude.
They really needed a drummer, huh?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're a good drummer, but I'm saying for them to continue to pay you, you know, like that means they're
towards the last year I was there, they stopped paying me.
Why? They told you?
Yeah, they're like, hey, we can't be paying you anymore. This and that.
The funds were gone.
Yeah, it wasn't really there anymore. I was like, it's all
the
good,
membership probably
yeah.
fell.
I'm like, I'm already here. I'm practically,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, why not? Well, keep playing.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't about the money either. So
I thought you were gonna say you went because of a girl or something.
It's usually that. That's usually
like you were dating someone. She was apostolic.
Nah.
So you went.
Nah. All right. So let's get into. Have you ever being in the Bible stuff? Like, have people ever try to tell you about conspiracies in the Bible?
Like aliens?
No.
Yeah, I mean, people have all kinds of questions, and especially when you get to Revelation. There's a lot of conspiracies and end of the world theories, so that kind of stuff,
like the whole rapture stuff.
Yeah, like when the time of the second coming of Christ, and the mark of the beast, the Antichrist, that kind of stuff. Just common stuff. and it's just there's some crazy interpretations of the Bible, not just Revelation, but
Not just Revelation.
I remember that one photographer guy that we had on. He was talking about the Nephilim or whatever.
Nephilim?
Is that a part of the Bible thing?
That's fallen angels type
I don't
thing.
know. I just
Yeah.
remember he was talking.
Yeah, he dude, this guy wanted to talk about it. And we had to keep shutting him out because this guy had a mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Like, kept talking, bro. If
I
you're
want-
watching, what's up?
this guy had a mouth. If you're watching,
All I wanted to know was if he believed in love, and all of a sudden he started talking about Nephilim.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, what happened here? I have an accent or something.
What's your take on that whole Nephilim thing, dude?
I just think it really doesn't matter. It talks about a certain group of people that were the Nephilim,
Yeah.
and then I just
Yeah.
for me it bears no weight. It doesn't do anything. Like what does it do? Does it help me understand God? Not really.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. What about this is one thing I thought as a kid asking my uncle. I remember asking him this question. In the Adam and Eve, after Cain killed Abel, and then God tells him to leave the Garden of Eden, right? And then saying he's going to protect him and show some kind of sign to show like, hey, like don't touch him or whatever, right? My question was like, if these people were the first people, who's he protecting them from? Which, like, this is a young me asking, and I still never found the answer to that.
So
what's your take on that?
Yeah.
bro?
So the interesting thing, about any literature is that it tells you what it tells you, and it doesn't tell you what it doesn't tell you.
The full context.
And so it might provide context, it might provide commentary, and it might not. It might provide interpretation, it might not. And so then you're left to read between the lines and make interpretations, and those interpretations could be very, very stretched and unsubstantiated. So the question becomes: were there other people during that time that were alive? Some people think there were, and some people think there weren't. Because you also got to think like, all right, Adam and Eve, the first humans, they have kids, and then they have kids, but who are they marrying? Are they marrying, having kids with their siblings?
Yeah.
Probably, but that's weird, but it doesn't really tell us that. It just tells us that they had kids, and then they had kids, and then they had kids.
Yeah.
They were probably smarter in the beginning, and then they got just dumber, and then that's how we are, interbreeding.
The interbreed because of that. That's where we are like that. All right, then. Do you believe there are hidden messages in the Bible?
Hidden messages.
You kind of say like reading between the lines. You could say that maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's hidden messages. I would say so. One of the things that's important when trying to interpret the Bible and understand the Bible is trying to understand the original intent of the author for the original audience.
Hmm.
And so, if you try to look at it from that perspective, then it's not a hidden message; it's a message. And it's our job to try to understand that message. It gets complicated because you're talking about different people, a different time, a different, place geographically, different worldview, different culture, different language, different ways that language was understood and spoken, So all that is just a complicated nature of the Bible and interpreting the Bible. But our job as interpreters and readers is to try to get to the original writer's intent, So like, what did Paul try to mean when he said this, to Timothy?
Yeah.
And so there's ways that there's things that you can do that create boundaries and help you in that. But I don't think there's hidden, I don't think the writers intentionally put in hidden meaning. I think
Rams is just looking for treasure.
they had they had things that they wanted to communicate to people, whether it was a story or whether it was a proverb or a poem or a song. They meant something, but I don't think it was hidden.
No. Yeah, like when people, because I've hear all the time, like, oh yeah, like, they get into theology or conspiracy or whatever part of it, and then like, oh yeah, hidden messages. I'm like, I don't think God or
Like the Illuminati?
no, not Illuminati. Were like, oh, you got to read between the lines, you got to get deep or anything like or something like that. And me, if I was like a father figure, I wouldn't want to make it complicated for my kid to understand.
Yeah.
You know, my ways basically. I don't think it's that deep.
So I think so. Okay, one of the things that's important is like thinking about what's explicit and what's implicit. All right. So what's explicit is like what is said, right?
Okay.
And then what's implicit is like it's not saying it, but it's showing it.
Okay. Yeah.
And so thinking about those two within those frameworks
Maybe
is helpful.
Implying?
Yeah, like that's where like implying comes
Yeah,
from, right?
yeah.
So if I'm saying, hey Ramzy, I love your hair,
Yeah.
and you're bald, right? You're bald, right? I'm like, hey Ramzy, I love your
It's
hair,
a wig.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's wearing a
I'm
wig.
saying explicitly that I love your hair.
Mm.
Implicitly, I'm making fun of you because you don't have hair.
Mm.
So that's
I
what literature is,
see.
right? And so
Yeah.
a lot of the Bible is story. Most of it is story,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so in the story, there's characters, there's a plot, there's a twist, there's
Plot twist.
drama, there's dialogue,
There's baby mama drama.
there's action, there's a lot of baby mama drama. There's action. And so a lot of the times the storyteller, the writer,
Yeah.
they're not explicitly telling you something, but they're implicitly showing you something. They're showing you how prideful Joseph was, that he boasted to his brothers that they were going to bow down to him in Genesis.
Mm.
They never say Joseph was prideful, but they show you that he was prideful because of his actions, right? And so I wouldn't say that's a hidden message. I would say that that's a message embedded, and it's our job to try to understand that.
Interesting. It's like a new way of looking at the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But Revelation, that one, I could spend a lot of time talking about Revelation because Revelation was written to early Christians and during a severe time of persecution.
And I was literally going to ask you something about Revelation.
Yeah. So Revelation, if you read Revelation chapter 1, 2, and 3, you soon realize that Revelation is one letter, but there's 7 letters written to 7 churches in the first 3 chapters. And so, have you remember like let's say the Smyrna, or Philadelphia, it's like there's 7 churches, there's a Ephesus, Philadelphia, Smyrna.
Okay.
And so there's a message that's given to each church, and then there's different visions throughout the 22 chapters of Revelation.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of hidden content in there. And that's mainly because that letter was meant to be a circular letter, meaning it was meant to go from one church to another church. But during the time, there was severe persecution in the Roman Empire. So the Roman Empire did not like Christians. The emperor didn't like Christians, and Christians were being burned and persecuted and mistreated and abused, right? And so the hope was that letter would make it to all 7 churches. In order for it to make it, the messages weren't clear to a pagan culture. They were only clear to a Jewish culture. So there's a lot of Jewish imagery from the Old Testament in Revelation. That's what makes it so difficult to interpret, because there's visions that have a lot of imagery that really only Jewish people that knew the stories of the Old Testament can really understand what John was saying.
It's crazy.
And so in that way, there's hidden messages, but I wouldn't even call it hidden messages. I would just say it was intended for a Jewish audience, Christian Jewish audience, that was well familiar with Jewish scripture.
Yeah.
And so they would understand why there was a slain lamb that had 7 eyes and 7 horns. It would make sense to them, but someone who wasn't from the Jewish religious circle, they would see that and they would say, oh, this is just a weird lamb. It wouldn't mean anything, but the number 7 in Jewish numerology meant that this was perfect or completed. So for the slain lamb to have 7 eyes meant that Jesus can see perfectly, because the slain lamb was a representation of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a symbolic message, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a symbolic message, but not everyone could interpret that correctly.
Yeah. Damn. I never knew that about Revelation.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I have a lot of fun teaching, stuff like that
That's
to high
crazy.
schoolers.
That's cool.
Yeah, it must be dope when you tell them things like that and like they're listening to you and like this is the enlightenment of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot of like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Like this is helpful,
Yeah.
and that's the hope, that it's helpful, it helps you, it draws you closer, it connects the dots,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, dude.
I remember I was going to a church called Life Church. Shout out to Life Church. They're probably not going to like this. I also grew up in a Christian church, but for some reason it just never stuck.
Okay.
Like everything that I do, it's either going to stick to me, or it's not going to stick to me. And most of the stuff, if I honestly feel like if it's not for me, it's not for me. And I remember after I left my parents' Christian church, that I had been there for like 8 years. We grew up there. Then I kind of started, because just off of like the habit of going to church, I started looking for another church. And luckily one of the drummers that was at the same church that we grew up in, he had gone to another church and he was a drummer.
Yeah.
And he basically spoke to the pastor about me and they're like, hey, he's a really good guitar player. Went to that church. But my intent was not to play for the church. I was like, I don't want to be anything about, like, I don't want to work for the church. I just want to go to church.
Yeah.
And of course they were in need of musicians, but they pushed it. They literally pushed the idea like, no, you should be on stage, you're a talent, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, whatever. So having that said, at the time it was fairly new as far as like their actual minister or whatever you want to call it. It's like the small church. And I was outside because I like to talk to people and I like to ask questions and I like to ask random questions. And I remember I spoke to this lady. She was probably at the time, probably like 40, probably closer to 50. And we're talking about Jesus. And I asked her, I'm like, oh, so you think Jesus is white? Just a very direct question. I wanted to see what she had said. And this is where like the simpler the question it is and the answer you're going to give me, that's where I'm going to be like, oh, I know where you're at. Like, I know who you are. And she's like, yeah, Jesus is white. I was like, really? It's like, where was he from? It's like, what origins were, where is he from? He's like, from Israel or something, like the Middle East. And I'm like, do they look white? You don't think they'll get sunburned? Like the whole blue eye Jesus thing. She's like, yeah, that's my Jesus. And of course, Mexican lady, but light skin. She's like, yeah, even like my dad, he's white and he's Mexican. I'm like, yeah, but where are your origins? Like, and she's like, oh, Spaniard. I'm like, you're European, right? So it's going to take a couple of generations for you guys to actually get the pigment as a indigenous Mexican. And that's where we kind of started going into the like actual logic as far as like where I'm seeking the knowledge of a person as far as like a mentor from a simple question like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the pastor came in and he heard us because I was like, I had a face. I'm like, yeah, this lady's somewhere else. And I asked him like, hey, pastor, like, was Jesus white? And that's when he brought up the Bible. He's like, no. And technically he was brown and he had curly hair and he read a script. And I'm like, okay, at least someone's a little bit more logical. Cause I was not even going off the Bible. I was going off of like what you said, history, regions and, just geographic, that's where my head goes into. And I asked her, I'm like, where does that image come from? The image that we're sold on.
The white Jesus.
The white Jesus. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, it was from a European. It was his interpretation of what Jesus, his image was. Mm. And she just looked at me. She's like, no. Even with all the pastor had said and what I had said, she's still like, no, my Jesus is white. I'm like, bro. I'm like, that's where I feel like the religion side. Yeah. And I guess where you guys fall into as far as like, if you believe in, I guess, God or Jesus, if you're walking into a path of like, okay, it's just a blind faith, which I feel like that was blind faith. Yeah. As far as like on her part, I'm like, what else could you be sold on? You could be sold on that guy that said, say yes, that kind of thing. And she would have said yes. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm healed from my tooth.
Yeah.
That's where my head goes into. I'm like, okay, you're following a religion or a doctrine, like that's not really what we should be worshiping, or as far as like what I think. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I think I greatly I'm compassionate towards that lady that you're talking about. And this is why. Um, she maybe didn't have the reasoning resource or the reasoning capacity to make sense of it.
Mm.
And yet you have a lady who has faith, and yet she believes that Jesus is white and has blue eyes. And I think there's so many people that fall into that category where to them because you're not even talking to a Euro white woman. You're talking to a Mexican woman who carries this belief, and it's most likely because it's ingrained in art, and it's ingrained in portraits of Jesus, and so it's probably at a subconscious level she learned to believe that Jesus is white. Logically and obviously, Jesus was not white. He was Palestinian. He was Jewish. He was brown. That's very, very clear. And anyone who has a little bit of knowledge and can reason would say something like that. But yeah, I mean, what was your question?
My question was off of the membership, as far as like when you're going into talking to like a mentor, because she wasn't
Yeah.
she was older.
Right.
I was a new
right.
member, I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
at the time,
Sure.
and she wanted to talk to me about Jesus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's where my head goes into. I'm like,
Bro.
oh, let's talk about Jesus.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
I've been told black Jesus too, bro.
So
well,
at-
I would
at
believe that more than white Jesus, bro.
So at that point, I think I just would say, I would conclude in my mind, this woman's not going to mentor me,
Yeah.
But that's not to say that there aren't Christians that are intellectuals, and like Christianity has a long-standing history of intelligent people that were Christians, like Saint Augustine, like this guy. Saint Augustine is from the 4th century, and he is from northern Africa, and he was a bishop of Hippo, which is like Turkey, like actually Algeria now. And he was just one of the brightest philosophers of the time, and he was a Christian, And so and that's just one, right? But if you just do a little bit of research, there's just intelligent, like smart, educated from the top educational spaces of the ancient world that were also Christians, and I think there's a little bit of everything. There's Christians who probably aren't intellectuals and don't have capacity to really reason well, like that woman. And then you have someone on the other side of the spectrum, who is probably educated with the best resources, and also has faith, just like anything else.
All right. One last question before I have one last segment to close it out in a fun note. One last question, like quickly, and I want to know this too. What is your advice on best way of reading the Bible?
Yeah. So I mentioned one that's trying to figure out the original author's intent, right? But let me backtrack a little bit. I think it's asking questions like, who wrote this, right? So we have, let's just say, Revelation, because we've been talking about it. Revelation was written by a guy named John. All right. So John wrote it. And then the next question, who's the audience? Like, who was John writing to? And then you try to figure that out, and I shared that John was writing to the 7 churches. And that comes from the first 3 chapters. So the text itself is going to show you and reveal the author for the most part, and then the audience as well. And then so author, audience, and then what do you believe to be the message of the content or of the document, right? Like, what is John's point? Why do you think John
Yeah.
wrote this to the 7 churches? Was he trying to rebuke them? Was he trying to encourage them?
Yeah.
Was he trying to say like, hey, hang on to your faith because Jesus is coming soon? What was he trying to do? What was the message that he was trying to give? And if you answer those simple 3 questions right there, I think you'll go a long way in understanding the Bible a little bit better. Because then you have a framework. Then it's not just like one book, right? Because I think a lot of people think of the Bible as like one book.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Like there's a lot of documents in this collection of books. It's an ancient library, right?
Yeah.
And the way you interpret Revelation is completely different than the way you interpret Job or the way you interpret Proverbs or Psalms, you know, like, and the way you interpret Genesis is completely different than the way you interpret the Gospel of Luke, you know? And so it's trying to understand the genres within the documents. And so, for example, the first 4 books of the New Testament are biographies of Jesus. They're telling the story of Jesus. So they start with the birth of Jesus, and then a lot of them end with the death and the resurrection, and some with the ascension of Jesus. So Jesus going back to heaven. And so it's understanding what it is that you're reading, and not thinking of it as one book. I think it's important to think of it as a like overarching story. If you take all the books in the Bible, but it's not one book, and there's a big difference there. And so I would say those things, thinking about the author, the audience, the intended message, and then thinking about the genres.
Okay.
I think just trying to figure out those questions can take you a long way in understanding it a lot better.
Like a framework going on?
Yeah.
Is it, and you want, like, are you saying that for every book?
Yeah, for every book. So try to figure out what Proverbs is about. Proverbs is wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? It's about wisdom. Just like Asian cultures have Proverbs too.
Yeah.
And it's about wisdom. It's about one-liners that help you navigate life. Right? That's what wisdom is, and so understanding that, goes a long way in understanding what Proverbs, 29:7 is, or whatever the verse you're talking about, and then not taking it out of context.
Yeah.
Right. Not taking one verse and then projecting whatever meaning you want to that verse. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that because the genre doesn't allow you to do that. So for example, like a lot of the documents in the New Testament are letters. So, and a lot of them were written by Paul, the Apostle Paul. And so Paul wrote letters to Timothy. Paul wrote a letter to a guy named Philemon. And then Paul wrote letters to churches, right? Like Corinthians is the church in ancient Corinth, and so now he's writing to a community. But it's important to distinguish, is Paul writing to a church or is Paul writing to a person? In Philemon, he's writing to a person. In Corinthians, he's writing to a whole church community in the ancient city of Corinth. In Thessalonians, he's writing to the whole community in Thessalonica. And so all that is important when you're trying to understand what in the world is going on, and it allows you not to pick and choose and then do whatever you want with that verse. You can get into a lot of problems when you do that. A lot to what has been said, like you're not actually thinking about what you're citing, like you're just saying it, or what you said earlier, like there's a difference between regurgitating information or quoting a verse and then or showing how that verse matters, or how that verse impacts your life, and so when you understand the Bible a little bit more, then you can really learn to apply it in ways that are transformational. And that's what Christians will say. We don't read the Bible for information. We read the Bible for formation. Like it's not about memorizing scripture for the sake of memorizing scripture. Memorizing scripture should help us. It should form us, help us become a better follower of God, or a better human, a better neighbor. Like if I know more about the story of Jesus, I can learn how to love my neighbor more. I can learn how to be a compassionate, patient, gentle person in the world.
Wow.
My question is, should Rams get baptized again? Third time's the charm, bro.
Third time's the charm.
You know,
You want to baptize me,
you
bro?
think it's gonna happen?
You want to baptize me?
all you have to do is invite him to play the drums.
Yeah, no,
The drums will do it.
A paycheck too tied to it.
Yeah, paycheck.
It's not in the budget.
You're not on
My
the budget,
price
bro.
is too high, bro. Yeah. All right, then. I'm glad you gave like a full answer about that, because I think people should hear that. It wasn't just surface level, and I really dig that. And I'm gonna especially go to the specific part to hear that again.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, invite me again. We'll talk about something else too.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
know?
Wow. All right. So we're getting towards the end of this episode, and I wanted to end it in a lighthearted, fun segment, guys.
All right.
And this is going to be for all of us. All right. It's called This or That. Have you heard? You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This or that. Like I choose one, right?
Yeah. All right. All right. So let me give you one. Superpowers: flying or invisibility?
Invisibility?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Not being seen. Invisible.
okay,
All right. So who goes first?
Doesn't matter. Just
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I'll go flying.
flying.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go flying too.
Same.
It's
Yeah.
mainly because I think invisibility is invasive. You know, like you're
You can,
invisible.
you can become a weirdo.
I would do the weirdest thing.
Like, no,
if I
but-
was invisible, I would walk into this room invisible and take a fart and like walk away.
and walk away.
Like, bro, like,
Yeah.
and then blame it on Rams.
Yeah, I think you can witness things that you're not invited to witness. You know, and it's
Exactly.
like, what do you like? It's an invasion of privacy. So
It's
I
an
think just
invasion.
mainly on that principle, I
Yeah.
would not take that on.
Okay. Nice. All right then. Next one. Beach vacation or out in the mountains vacation?
Oh, those are hard. That's a hard one. I would do mountains.
Mountains.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm gonna go with mountains.
I would do beach, dude.
My wife would do beach. I would do mountains.
Yeah.
I like to be in the woods.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's
I like doing the hiking, the lakes, and the rivers, and all that stuff.
Okay.
yeah,
There's
I'm
more
with
to
you.
do. The beach is like it's cool and everything, but after a while, like it's just water.
Oh, okay.
Like it's sand. I gotta shower again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like tropical things.
Also, beach. Like if you like sunbathing, like my wife, like the beach is like like. But for me, like
Bro, we're
I'm already brown.
Like,
you
what are
know,
we gonna get? More
Bro,
tan?
you get in the water,
I'm already
bro.
my shade of brown.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. There we go.
You're gonna start blending into your shirt.
Yeah, shade of brown. Like, I would be in the water, bro. I love the water, bro. Surfing.
We already found out that you love the water.
Yeah.
Calm down. We got it.
I would be in the water.
We got you.
A third time. All right, then coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Oh, coffee, 100%.
Coffee all the way.
Mhm.
I love coffee, bro.
What's up with that coffee roaster in Lancaster that hasn't opened up?
Which
on
one?
Sierra Highway and Lancaster Boulevard. I follow them on Instagram, and I think they're called like Lobo. It's on the corner.
Oh, Lobo. They're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
one of the...
Yeah.
sponsors.
So they posted on their stories and said, we're going to have a soft opening mid-July. My wife and I drove today, and there's no soft opening. It's past
Oh.
mid-July.
Damn.
So I'm upset. I'm looking forward
Se
to that.
pasaron.
Hey,
that
Lobo.
coffee shop. Lobo, what's happening?
What's going on, Lobos? I don't know, man. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I don't know idea.
Yeah.
You guys haven't seen the signs on the building
Mm-mm.
on
No.
Lancaster Boulevard and Sierra Highway?
Nah, bro.
It's there, but they're not open.
Was
It's
it
on
by
the-
your old studio or the old studio? Like, is that where he's talking about?
No, it's
on the boulevard.
It's on the boulevard.
It's right. Sierra Highway starts the boulevard
oh,
east, and then
in that corner.
10th Street West ends it. Yeah,
Oh.
so where it starts,
Oh,
it's
interesting.
that corner. I think it used to be like a women's gym or something like that, or just a gym. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. All right, then.
What about you? Did you say tea or coffee?
I say coffee.
Oh, okay.
I love coffee, bro. Yeah, makes you go to the bathroom though. But I love coffee.
Makes you go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Like number 2?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
so
You need
don't,
something
so you don't
else.
drink coffee often. Coffee often.
Yeah, every morning.
Oh, so you go every morning?
He eats really bad though. Like he eats bad.
All right, then.
Like junk food, yeah. Junk food.
Okay.
All right, then. All right.
You don't want to talk about
All right.
it. It's like, all right.
I have a segment going
Yeah,
on, bro. Comedy or action?
Comedy.
I'm not a comedy person.
I'm a comedy person.
You're a comedy person?
I'm not a comedy.
Oh, you're not?
Like comedy film. Like I'm not a comedy film person.
Well, the ones that are coming out now are kind of lame. You know,
Ooh, you
But
dropped the bomb on that?
but I like the old ones, like Super Bad. You know, that stuff is cool.
I love the comedy where it will not fly today, bro.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
exactly
okay,
what I'm talking about.
cancel today kind of comedy,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah,
But-
like Superbad is one of the perfect
Yeah, Pineapple
examples.
Express,
Pineapple
one of my favorite
Express.
ones. And then I would say Napoleon Dynamite was funny too, but it was one of those genres that had to grow on me because I didn't understand it when I first watched it.
Yeah.
Even Nacho Libre, I watched it by myself at the movie theater when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm like literally by myself. I was in the movie theater and I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like I really thought it was like this is the dumbest movie ever, but it grows on you.
It
Like
grows
it's a
on you.
genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I feel like that with The Office. The first time I watched it, I was like, what am I watching? But then the second time I watched it, I was like, this is hilarious.
yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
thing. I don't want it to grow on me. Like I want to experience it for the first time, and it's like that was banging right there. You
Oh,
know?
okay,
Like
okay.
I don't want to have to watch it a second, third time.
Yeah.
You know, but I get that. But
So you're an action guy?
no.
Either.
But if I had to choose, I'm gonna go action.
Okay.
So what
Yeah.
what type of genre are you?
I'm a drama.
Drama?
Yeah, drama and documentaries.
drama like in like a soap opera?
No, I know.
Drama films. So
Yeah,
drama
drama
films
films,
have
yeah.
to do with like real life kind of stories.
Yeah.
Like Lincoln? Have you seen that movie? Lincoln?
That was a good movie.
I
That
have.
was a great
I have.
movie.
I have.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite movies.
Yeah, and then I like documentaries, sports documentaries, but any really kind of documentaries, because documentaries are just really like you're telling the story of
Mhm.
somebody, you know, you're following them around, and I like the real life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pizza or burgers?
That's a hard one.
I
Because
love
it's
both,
just
bro.
one of those ones that
Speaking about me not eating good.
it's one of those like I would prefer them at a certain time when I feel like it, but I can't. I don't know. That's a hard one. Because pizza, because there's more stuff in it. You know, like pickles. I love pickles, bro.
On pizza?
You mean burgers?
No,
You mean
burgers, bro.
You said
Okay.
pizza right
my
now.
bad, my
Yeah.
bad. And pizza, it's just like it's pizza. It's just good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with burgers.
Burgers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's fries.
I'm gonna say this. I've had more bad burgers than pizza. Like depending where you get it.
Mm.
So it's easier to make a good pizza than a good burger. So I'm gonna go with pizza.
Is Little Caesars a good pizza?
I think it's a good pizza.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have a very low expectation in pizza then.
No, it's good pizza.
All right.
I've had even lower than that.
What's lower than that? The
Like those mom and pop cheapy ones.
what is that? Like the ones that you go to the corner or something?
Not in the corner. Like how about okay, perfect example. Perfect example. 7-Eleven pizza.
I never had
That's
it.
bad.
It's bad.
I've never had it.
It reminds me of cafeteria pizza.
yeah,
Okay, now I
bad.
know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's like that.
Okay. Yes.
But that's
Fake
like
cheese.
if I ever had like think of a bad pizza I've ever had, that's my only one.
Mm.
But I can name a handful of bad burgers. You get me?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs.
I don't like
Dogs.
cats.
Yeah.
I like both, but I lean more in dogs. I have both. I have.
Oh, you
dog-
like cats?
I actually have a cat at the house.
But do you like
You
cats?
have
You're
a
not
cat?
answering the question.
I,
Do you like cats? I have a cat.
I like both, but I lean more to dogs.
Okay.
I'll say dogs. Yeah, dogs.
Do you like cats?
Yeah, I like cats.
You tolerate them.
It took you a long time to say.
I
yeah.
like cats.
Do you just tolerate them?
It's just
It's
more.
your wife got the cat.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, yeah,
she
I
did.
can tell.
And I just see like the traitorness of a cat. You know, like they have that characteristic.
They're
where
very independent. That's why.
yeah, because they're super nice to you, and you just like go in there and like they hate you the next minute.
What is this? What are you doing to your cat?
You just go in there.
no?
What are you doing to your cat, bro?
all right, next one. But yeah, it's
Where are you
just
going in?
What are you petting, bro?
a cat. My cat.
With your finger like
so
this?
no, like this. Okay,
Oh,
okay, like
you
this.
went like this, bro. Like,
no. All right.
Poor cat.
Are you an early bird or night owl?
That's a tough one because I'm always tired.
Most tired.
Yeah.
I'm a night owl.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a night owl, but I have 2 young girls, and they wake up early. I have one and a half year old,
Wow.
and she's up at 6:30. So it's weird. I try to go to sleep late because I try to have time to myself because parenting consumes a lot of that time. But yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep because I gotta wake up early. So that's just seasonal though.
So
But like naturally, I'm gonna stay up late.
okay.
But that's non-existent. Like I can't wait. I can't sleep in. I haven't slept in. Well, actually, my wife and I went on a vacation, just the 2 of us, for the first time about a month ago. That was probably the first time I slept in a really long time.
What time did you wake up?
Oh, it wasn't even super late because I'm
7
already
o'clock?
wired. Yeah, it was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I get
But
that. I get
I
that.
wasn't forced. Like I could.
Yeah, no, I get
could
that.
have stayed in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my body said get up.
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to waking up early. At this point, I'm like,
So
work or no work, I'm just gonna wake up
when
early.
you say night owl, how late?
Oh, like pre-kids? Man, I mean, my wife and I used to stay up like 2 in the morning, like watching movies or whatever, you know. So
Okay.
Documentaries.
yeah,
The latest for me is 12, bro. I'm already like.
it wasn't like every night,
Oh.
but we could do it, you know.
Yeah.
But 12 was kind of more like what we did every night.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm in that phase right now since I don't have kids yet, where we're staying up to like midnight,
Okay.
and that's when.
Oh, right now you're staying up to midnight?
Yeah.
Bro, he wakes
But
up
you
late.
work.
He wakes up
But
late.
you work.
No, he wakes up late.
I wake up.
He wakes up late.
My hours are late.
Yeah, he
okay.
wakes up super late,
Okay,
bro.
got it.
He calls me. Sounds like he just woke up.
What time do you wake up?
Around 5:36.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just my routine though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
And then he calls me at 10. He's like, "What the heck? Why are you tired, bro?"
All right. Sweets or salty snacks?
Sweets. Oh, that's a tough one because I would have preferred spicy if you would have said spicy
Ooh.
because that's kind of salty, right? Like we're Mexican. We
I'll
do
throw
the Mexican.
salt and spicy.
Okay.
Because my wife makes salsas like every day almost.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They're spicy, but they still have flavor.
Okay.
And that flavor is because of the certain amount of salt.
Yeah,
There's like that
I know what you're talking about.
thin line where
Yeah.
you get too spicy or too salty.
Yeah.
She just knows, you know.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
I'll do the
It's perfect,
spicy.
bro. It's perfect. I'm not saying that because she's my wife. But yeah.
It's perfect. She's perfect.
Yeah. But what about you guys?
I'm gonna go salty because I can't do too much.
Because I'm a
sweet.
salty person.
I like dark chocolate or like chocolate chip stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can do that in terms of sweet, but I mostly don't like a lot of other sweet stuff. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go salty.
I guess we're all salty guys here then. All right. Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
I find myself on YouTube more than Netflix.
I think I'll say YouTube too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more variety.
Because of that, exactly. Yeah. And it's catered to your algorithm too.
Yeah.
So because of the algorithm too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. City life or country boy life?
Country.
Country. City.
City.
City. I'm gonna go with city.
I'm a city boy.
I don't like people. Too many people in the city.
Yeah, you're low-key kind of introverted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Few more. Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
I'm gonna do cake.
Ice cream. I never eat cake, bro.
I have sensitive teeth, so if I have,
I do too.
I can't have like cold, like anything cold in my mouth because it hurts.
Yeah, I do too.
So ice cream hurts.
But I still wouldn't eat a cake. I don't think
What about like
my
tres
birthday
leches?
cake. I don't think my birthday cake I even got any.
You don't got a cake?
Like,
They forgot your cake?
no, I had a birthday cake, but
Oh.
like everyone else ate it but me.
Why don't
know?
you just get an ice cream cake?
True. I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't get it though. They got it for me. You know,
They got it for themselves.
probably like this was not going to eat any. Yeah, more
More
cake
for
for
us.
us.
Yeah, I
Yeah. All right. Video games or board games? And I know your answer on this.
That's a tough one because I would pick neither. But if there was one, I would pick video games.
Okay. Chris?
I'm gonna go with board games.
Yeah, you're a board game
Yeah,
man.
board games. It's more like I like strategic board games. You know, where you got to use your mind. You know, you got to strategize.
You ever play Clue?
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 I don't think so.
You haven't played Clue?
I don't think
Wow.
I've played it.
Bro, Clue is that game.
Yeah,
Exactly what you're saying.
I don't think I've played it. Yeah.
You gotta play it, bro.
So yeah, I'm gonna do board games. Video games. I mean, I haven't been into video games ever really.
Have you done the
So-
Oculus?
I've tried it. Yeah, I've tried it.
Okay.
But it was my friend, so
Okay.
Ever
Yeah.
played Risk?
I never got into it.
No?
No,
But you
I
played
never
it.
did.
Or
I don't think I ever played it. I don't think I ever played it. I think I bought it and then I gave it to my nephew.
okay.
So I never played it.
That was a really good one. It's a really good one.
Settlers of Catan is great. Have you guys played that?
No,
Mm-mm.
not that one.
Yeah, Settlers of Catan is really good. And
Okay.
of course, Monopoly is
Monopoly,
great. We used to play
classic.
Monopoly a lot.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
We used to stay up late playing that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You still play it?
I haven't. Probably last time was on my brother's
Okay.
because he has board games too. I have a few, but they're different. But I'm always down, bro.
Would
Like,
you
I'm like-
play the real board game like on like Monopoly right here with us, or would you play it on a screen like on a
Nah,
Switch?
nah, in person, bro.
Why?
In person.
Why?
This is better.
How do you know?
Didn't we play like on the app?
Yeah, I think we tried playing it like through a console. I think it was like a Nintendo something, or no? Or,
No, it was
just
in
an
the app. Like we all downloaded the same app.
Oh,
and
but
you
it
could-
was. But we used the TV though, right? Or no?
No, it was
Oh, 'cause
on your phone.
I play it on the app. I used to. I haven't in some time. But
Yeah.
I prefer the physical
Okay.
board game.
Yeah, of
because then you
course.
get to roll the dice
Uh.
physically, and then you get to move physically.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Okay. Summer or winter? I'm a summer guy.
Winter.
Yeah, I'm gonna do winter.
Yeah, I'm outside, bro. It's hot. You're in the AC. You're in the nice little cool little indoor.
I'm a summer guy, bro.
bro, shut up.
You're a
Yeah,
summer guy.
I'd rather be in shorts and t-shirt, bro.
And
rather
then
than
you come through here all
wearing layers.
tired.
Oh yeah, I
like,
like
bro.
layers.
I don't.
I like layers.
I prefer just having the option to be hot or cold. And winter for me, it's just like it gives me at least the option to be at least warm. You know, even if it's cold, I'm like
Okay.
just throw on a jacket.
Last one. Oh no, this is like a movie one again. Comedy or horror?
Oh, that's a good one. I used to do horror. For some reason, I'm more into comedy right now.
I love scary movies.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
I don't do horror.
I love scary movies.
What was the last scary movie you saw, Rams?
last scary one? Look, think about scary movies. Like I think they suck, bro.
The new ones for sure.
I think they suck, bro. The old ones are the good
Yeah.
ones, bro. Where they get you.
But I feel like it was more nostalgic. Looking back at it, you know, like even Chucky, I used to be scared of those movies when I was a kid, but you could go back on them and laugh.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
what's
Yeah.
going on?
yeah.
I never saw those.
Last scary movie.
I did see Sinners though.
Was it good?
It was really good.
Is that
Whoa.
like
Ray Coogler, Michael B.
Whoa.
Jordan.
Is that a horror movie?
We
Or-
spoke about that one.
That one's people say it's like a new genre.
a new genre.
Yeah, it's like a new genre because it's horror, but it's
I heard.
about music.
Yeah.
And then it's about
Oh.
vampires.
Vampires.
It's about vampires. And so
Whoa.
it's
Making
like-
music.
It's yeah.
the new Twilight.
yeah, the new Twilight.
So it's
they make a band.
it's really good though.
All right.
I heard.
I'm gonna watch it then.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard somewhere it was on TikTok. So you know how TikTok is.
Yeah, you gotta believe TikTok.
TikTok is not
Yeah.
a very good source
It's all
sometimes.
about truth and TikTok.
That there were like scenes in the movie. It was like real witchcraft going on. Am I wrong?
I mean, you could say so. Yeah,
Hmm.
you could say so.
Okay.
But in every
there's
movie,
like-
there has to be some sort of like authenticity, like as far
Where
as
they getting it from?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like the voodoo stuff from every other movie that we've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, that was it. That was this or that, guys. Yeah. And thank you, Francisco,
Yeah.
for coming
Thanks
through.
for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been almost 100 episodes the last time you were in the episode.
That's wild.
when was the last time you actually saw Rams?
Probably that. No, after that. 'Cause
Yeah, I think we got together like a week after that or something.
Yeah, or something like that. To play some board games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was at my brother's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. It's been a long minute.
Yeah. So it's good seeing you again, brother.
Good seeing
You know, alive and well, and doing what your passion is.
Yep.
And I love that, bro. And if you reached this far in this episode, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Where can they find us, Irvin?
Mm.
Come
You
on.
usually say that, bro.
I know. I laid it up to you, bro.
What is that? YouTube?
YouTube,
Shade of Brown?
Shade of Brown.
Instagram? The Shade of Brown?
Just Shade of Brown Pod.
Okay, Shade of Brown.
I usually do this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I know.
Instagram, Shade of Brown Pod. TikTok, Shade of Brown Pod. Find us on Facebook, Threads. Follow us. You know, you're gonna see some clips.
You'll see one clip because Ram's being lazy.
No. I'm gonna make clips. Bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use the AI thing.
Sure,
I'm gonna use
yeah,
it.
bro. I sent that to you like a month ago.
All right. What else? What else are we on? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, what was your experience now that you actually had two podcasts with I would say now two different co-hosts and different environment?
Which one's
what was your experience on both?
Which one's better?
Yeah.
The old co-host or
So, I mean, both experiences were a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. I would say that the first experience, though, I didn't know Anthony, and Anthony was very interested in the fact that I'm a pastor in religion. So he was asking a ton of questions.
I remember that.
Like he got in. Like he was.
I was
like,
very surprised.
Yeah, he got in, and it was fun. You know, for me, it's fun, especially for someone that doesn't attend church or has no religious background. Like, for me, it's a joy. So that was a lot of fun because he clearly was interested.
Did you invite him to your church?
Did I invite him? I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
He was like, "All right, bye, Felicia."
Yeah.
And then for this podcast, you were asking all the questions, which I think you guys were going back and forth. I don't know what system you guys had. But for this podcast, there was more of a centralization on the Bible and Christianity. The first podcast, we went everywhere. We spoke about everything.
We did.
You know,
it's because I think Anthony was like more like wanting to know about pastor and Bible stuff, and my brother, he's more like, all right, enough about that, man. Let's talk about something else.
Okay,
he's kind of like that.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So I don't know what we talked about, but it was a lot of just random.
You
stuff.
remember that? Like, it was more diverse.
Yeah, it was more topics and conversations. So
yeah.
Nice.
As far as like when it comes to me, like I really like to listen. As far as like when we first have a guest that I haven't met. From there, if we have, I guess, a repeated person, as far as yourself, hopefully you come back. Then it would become like, okay, I see where his rhythm is going, and now I understand like, okay, where are the limits and boundaries?
Oh, the lights went out.
There you go.
We've been here a little too long.
Wait, it still looks great though.
No. It's just the light timer.
It's a timer.
Okay, yeah.
Para que se vayan la casa.
I know they're trying to tell us like, let's go. But yeah, you kind of got interrupted.
No, but that's what it is though.
For sure.
I like to listen. Before I actually even ask a question. Like I like to see where you're from and like what you're about and all that other stuff. And from there, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Because I've met a lot of new guests that we've been bringing in, and it's almost like I speak to them after the podcast more than I speak to them in the podcast.
Right.
Because they see me. All of a sudden, they start seeing me everywhere. Like I start seeing them everywhere. Like Fat Boys Tacos, his whole family at Sushi. We started talking there. The last guest that we had, I see him at the AV Alta games randomly now with his kids, and we're just chatting it up. And it just happens like, oh, like it just becomes a thing where I need to warm up to the person, and I'm like, okay, now I know where we're fitted as far as like
you're gonna run into Francisco somewhere now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fat Boys. Yeah, maybe out that when I go for the first time.
Yeah, you're gonna see us there. Watch. Yeah. So, all right, man. That's everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. The lights are out. I think it's time to go, guys.
Let's go home.
All right, then. See you guys in the next one. Shoo!